All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning back into this video. I had just realized something. I never really expressed that we are a completely organic garden here. So, what that means is I do not use any pesticides. I don't use even any organic pesticides, no pesticides whatsoever, no chemicals, um, only some fertilizers that are organic, but nothing to try to smite out the miniature life that's in the garden. So this video is really going to give some perspective to what the real world is. Um, if you take a closer look at your plants, which we will go around the garden and do, you'll notice that these small little creatures are actually having warfare, having life, having food, having making children. They're living and existing on these trees. So that's why we have to be very mindful about what we spray in our yards and not hurt this little delicate life. So let's go around, and I want to first focus on my loquat tree. I'll spin the camera around and keep narrating, but we're going to focus in on this little life. That's very important. Okay, so check this out. First thing I noticed is this. Okay, here's a good shot at what's going on. See the little green dots there? Those are aphids. Okay, there we go now. Okay. Those are aphids. Okay, that are mostly, they're not thriving because you see that they have two predators. They have a ladybug that's eating them, that's living on the leaf, and also an ant that is farming them for their nectar and also eating them. So this is why it's important to realize that you can definitely do something about the aphids. What you can do is take the hose and just spray these off with a high-powered hose and just spray the aphids off. You can do that in the morning. But if you just do nothing too, you'll notice that the tree has host plants, or has host insects that will live on it. Wow, it just started to rain. That's kind of nice, just a really light rain. We are in our rainy season here where I live. So if I pull this down a little bit, you can see all the aphids on the new growth, and different insects are coming on here and farming them. Mostly ants and ladybugs will come on here and farm off the aphids, but I probably will hit it with the hose. Now that's a good natural way to get rid of some pests. But just want to encourage everyone, if you see a couple of aphids, it's because it's natural, and they will actually attract other insects that will use them for beneficial purposes. So there's tiny creatures that are very susceptible to chemicals living on all these plants. So especially if you're growing plants in the ground that you're eating, you don't want to be accidentally ingesting any herbicides, or all herbicides cause cancer, so there's that too. You probably don't want to be spraying them and breathing that in. But yeah, you'll notice that you don't really need them. I'm now 4 years in to being completely herbicide free, and you'll notice this. I'll show you this. When you don't spray any herbicides on your lawn or anywhere in your yard, you'll get plants like this. This is a type of clover that when you pick the leaves and you taste them, they're super citrusy, like lemony, really good and really fresh. Here's the flowers of it. So this plant just tastes amazing. It's not your typical type of clover. If I was spraying some sort of herbicide in my yard, this would never come. It's here as a gift from Mother Nature. So you can take little pieces of it. I'm letting it go into seed, and these are the seed pods. So it spreads itself in this area. And then also just kind of taking out its competition. And hopefully it will thrive, because it's just the type of clover that I discovered that is really, really tasty. Now, all clover is edible. All types of clover is edible, but this is just a tasty type. I named it, I'm not sure its actual scientific name, but I named it Lemon Blast Clover. So I think that's a good reason not to use herbicide. Is cool stuff like that will come in time. Not the first year, but a couple years in. Here's some lemon balm, a really great medicinal that makes great teas or tinctures. I have this all around the yard. There's some strawberry, some bulbs of flowers that actually came with the house, and I transplanted them to here. Bulbs of flowers are good to have around, you know. More flowers never hurt anything. But here's really what I am proud of, and soon lots of insects will be on these. It takes a while. It takes a little bit for them to find them, but this is tomatillos, tomatoes, all a line. It's 17 feet long, 4 feet front to back. And then, of course, I've got the chicken wire fence around it, because I have been gardening in this yard for about 4 years, like I said, and by now all the little creatures know that I garden in this yard, and there's some tasty treats. So if I don't put a fence up, rabbits, even deer will jump my fence. Rabbits, raccoons, possums. I've seen it all. I've seen turtles in the yard. I doubt they do anything, but I've seen it all in this yard. So I do have a lot of pests, small and large. The small ones, you don't have to worry too much about the bugs. The actual large pests, you do just have to put a fence to keep them out. But I like the way it looks, and it doesn't just keep the animals out. It also keeps keeps people out from messing with or accidentally like falling into your garden bed. So it's a nice option. So let's see. We're 8 minutes here. Let's see if we can walk the line, find any more symbiotic bug relationships. Here is a Vitex medicinal ancient tree that I did from a cutting. This was accidental cutting, actually. See these stakes? I originally drove these into the ground to hold up piled wood for the hugel mound, and I used them from fresh wood from a Vitex tree, and I pounded them into the ground. And this one right here, I pounded this one into the ground, and it sprouted up. So this is a cutting that was this big. This base hasn't grown at all. This base is how big they all were, but this is a cutting that was over 2 inches in diameter. And there's a myth out there that you can't do cuttings that are, bigger than like a pencil. So you can see how this came out, spread it out, turned into a tree, and that was 4 years ago. So, and I've trimmed it back a lot, but it lives in a dense hugel mound kind of guerrilla planting different types of plants. I don't see a lot of bug pressure on this line, just because there's no edible plants besides the elderberry, and you do see a spider on there. You'll notice that bugs, it will come through this way. See, this is another non-edible plant, no bugs. That's why edible plants and native plants that flower and stuff really help the environment. Here's kind of a line of these non-edibles, and there's no bug activity. Of course, it's fine to have, a diverse plantings, but the natives and the edible stuff really are going to be more beneficial for that tiny life. Here we've got a large elderberry. It's coming into flower here. See that? It's the elderberry flower right there coming on. Beautiful. Alright, so hold on, I'll take you. It's starting to rain now. Beautiful addition to the greenhouse. So check this out. Well, this is the bonsai we did last time I brought it outside. Looking great, having a lot of flow. I defoliated it, but this is the great new addition. Solar panel on the greenhouse. So cool. I'll do a special video on that, but solar powered fan. We'll go inside and check it out. Alright, now we've gotten out of the rain there. Check the solar powered fan. Wait, look at that. So it's a Sunny Imma DC brushless fan. It's super quiet, and I have it there for good airflow in the greenhouse, and it's weatherproof, so it doesn't matter if it gets wet too. But I am gonna close the greenhouse up. As soon as I hook this thing up and it's an overcast day, this fan just started cranking. So I realized I have a lot of opportunity here for solar powered stuff. I mean, it'd be easy to live off the grid with solar power here. And now I can see why people do have solar power things on their house. I would never put it on my roof to damage the roof, but maybe a solar panel on the ground would be really useful. Here we've got the sacred red coming back. I put the sculpture head in there because this is definitely a sacred plant. It survived. It's only one of just a couple other of the large Jabacabas that survived. This one survived too. Oh, here's the... Oh, look at that. We got our first pea pod. Pea pod in the greenhouse. That's just how it should be. The peas in the greenhouse are a little bit ahead of the other peas. We don't want these to snap. They're not held up well, and hopefully they get a hold of something that they can take off on. But there's the carrot there forming too. So we do have some edibles in the greenhouse. But yeah, oh, and the bamboo sprouted up. So I've never grown bamboo from seed. I'm just praying that this is the bamboo. I can't really tell yet. So let me know in the comments if that's the bamboo or not. It doesn't look like a bamboo leaf, but yeah, that's just the first stages of the plant. Got the Spanish moss still here. Survived 10-degree temperatures. 10 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's tough Spanish moss. Oh, look at this. That is funny. Got a tomato growing inside the miniature bonsai. It's just that time of year. We've got abundance of growth. So it's a beautiful time of year. I will flip the camera around just to do a little outro here. So remember this. Keep growing. Number one, keep growing. If you do anything today, plant a plant or help Mother Nature in some way. Help all of her beautiful little insects. Don't use herbicides. Don't use chemicals. It's hogwash. You don't need it. You don't ever need it. You just want to help Mother Nature grow. You don't want to help Mother Nature fight pests. Because you got to think about it. Why would Mother Nature need help fighting pests with our chemicals? No, she doesn't want that. So that's the main focus on this video. And remember, keep growing. Please, if you would do anything for me today, subscribe if you love nature and love this type of video. Hit the like button. And I just recently learned just one comment can push a video to 100 different YouTubers. So one comment on YouTube algorithm pushes out the video to 100 viewers. One like pushes out the video to 10 viewers. One share is like a limitless amount. So help me out in the algorithm. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, and tune back in, we'll have tons of great gardening videos in the future. Thank you, everyone. Keep growing on.